Hello and welcome. Today I'm talking about this, the Jean Paul FH430 flugelhorn. Now the title of this video may come across as being a bit clickbaity. I couldn't put this instrument down, but that is absolutely true. When I got this instrument out of its case and started playing with it, I did not want to put it down. It made me happy to play this instrument. This here is a cheap Chinese flugelhorn that's about half the price. Looks fine. It's got a very similar design apart from it's all silver plated. But this instrument is a chore to play. Particularly if you use the mouthpiece that comes to it. Your high range is going to be gone, slipping away before your eyes, and your lip is just going to get worn out. I do not enjoy playing this instrument. Yet this instrument, I sat down the very first time I took it out of its case, oiled the valves, played it for an hour, and I still had plenty left in the tank. It was enjoyable, and I didn't genuinely want to put it down. Visually, the instrument is primarily yellow brass, with the exception of this part through round to this part, which is rose brass, and then the lead pipe into the valve casing from here to here is silver plated or nickel plated. It's one of the two. The pathways through the valves are copper, which is quite nice, but as it's copper, you're going to have to work a little bit harder to keep that clean. We also have a trigger on the third valve tuning slide, which is largely a standard accessory these days. The mouthpiece that comes with this instrument has got no branding on it, but actually my normal advice to people when they buy Chinese instruments is the first thing you should do is buy a proper mouthpiece. I've got no problems with this. I think this mouthpiece works well with this instrument. If I was to nitpick a couple of issues, a couple of things that I'd like to be fixed, the first would be the valves. They're a little bit noisier than what I would like. You can probably fix that by replacing the felts both on the top of the valve cap and underneath the valve cap. So that's probably resolvable. The thing that I'd really like Jean Paul to fix, however, is with the case. You can only fit the instrument in the case when the tuning shank here is fully inserted, which means that every time you go and play the instrument, you're going to have to undo this wing nut slightly, you're going to have to pull your tuning slide out to the right length, tighten it up again, and away you go. Conversely, when you go and put the instrument away again, you're going to have to loosen this, push your tuning slide in, tighten it up again, and put it into its case. I don't know why you wouldn't just make your case able to accommodate a lead pipe that's a centimetre or two longer. I think that's probably about the only real downside that I'd actually like to see fixed. One thing I've been trying to do recently is to get a couple of professionals play these instruments and give their thoughts on it. So I took this along to a couple of different band practices. A guy who's a trumpet player with the Royal New Zealand Air Force suggested that he wants to borrow this instrument and probably won't give it back. He absolutely loves it. And again, when he played it, he didn't want to put it down again. I also had the flugelhorn player in one of the bands that I play for try it. She really likes the instrument too. Said it was comparable to the instrument that she normally plays, except at 3 times that instrument is 3 times the price. She did also comment on the fact that it isn't necessarily a lightweight instrument. With a lot of Chinese instruments that you get, they are very light, and that tends to give them a very bright, brassy sound. That's not the sort of feeling that you want, not the sort of sound that you want out of a flugelhorn. You want it to have a bit more mass to it, you want it to have a bit more gravity built into it, and that helps darken the sound and give you the sort of velvety tone that people like to hear from a flugel. If you want to find out more about these instruments, then you can click through to the Jean Paul website by using the links in the video description below. If you go to the Jean Paul website itself and try to find this instrument, you have to actually go to the trumpet section. So once again, my thanks to Jean Paul for sending this absolutely wonderful instrument to me. I'm going to hold on to it, and you'll probably see it the next time I do a multi-track that involves a flugel. Thank you very much for watching.